Hello and welcome to Canutillo Combos, the official Canutillo ISD podcast. I'm Gustavo Reveles, the Director of Communications for the school district. With us, as always, is our fearless leader, Dr. Pedro Galaviz, our Superintendent of Schools.
Good morning.
And, of course, at the controls, Laura Lupia.
Hello.
And we are on location for the recording of this podcast. We are at... There's a reason Dr. Galaviz explained that song. We're at Canutillo High School with the stage players, the drama team here at Canutillo High School, and the one-act play team from Canutillo High School is making history again for the first time in 20 years. First time in 20 years, Canutillo High School is at the regional levels for one-act play 5A UIL.
Congratulations.
Welcome, guys. Let's go down the line and introduce ourselves. Yeah, please.
Wait. Go ahead.
I'm Saida Diaz. I'm a senior here at Canutillo High School, and I'm one of the captains for Canutillo Stage Plays.
I'm Angel Pacheco, and I'm also a senior. I play Salieri.
What? Salieri? I can't even say that. Sally.
I'm Michael Smith, and I'm a senior, and I play Mozart. Or Amadeus.
I'm Jesus Ramirez, and I am the theater teacher and director here at Canutillo High School.
Love that guy.
Yeah, we are obviously so proud of this, and we can't wait to hear the news that you're gonna make it to state. This is the one step before state. That would be yet another historic notch on this program's record book. Doc, Canutillo hasn't been to state since early 2000s, maybe 2000. 2000. It's been 25 years since Canutillo's made it to state.
Hey, way to go, Ramirez. Way to
go.
go.
Fingers crossed.
Mr. Ramirez, tell us a little bit about one-act play, as if someone is not aware of what that is. What's it?
Like me, I don't know anything about theater. You know, my daughter Olivia was.
Yeah, she competed.
Yeah.
So One Act Play, UIL One Act Play, is actually the largest theater festival competition in the entire world. Mm-hmm. So you have over almost every I'm not going to say every high school, but almost every high school in the state does compete in UIL One Act Play. In our level of competition, which is a 5A, we do have over 240 high schools. So right now we are at the top 24 plays in 5A. Through this process, you start off at the district level, and you go by district, and then you go area, then regionals, and then state. Through this, you have 7 minutes to set up your set. You have 40 minutes to perform your show and 7 minutes to take it down. At any of those points, if you go over time, you are disqualified.
So it's not only the pressure of being on stage and performing, it's taking it off.
Yes.
So again, I've been here since your journey, and again, I love you. You're awesome theater teacher, and for my own daughter, the love you give her. But why Amadeus? Why? What? Because I remember I asked you earlier when I asked you during the fall, like what play it was, and why when Mr. Ramirez said Amadeus, you go, no, I want something a little Taylor Swifty.
Well, let's first say that the play you guys are performing is Amadeus, which is the story of Salieri and Mozart.
Yes.
Right? So that's what Dr. Galaviz is alluding to.
Oh, okay. But why Amadeus? Yeah, like how do you pick? Like, do you just pick based on your players and?
Yes. So it's all based on, as a director, like I always want to showcase my students, and pick what's best for them, not necessarily what I want to do. And it's not like I want to do this specific show, so let's make it happen. It's more like I have these specific students, they fit these specific parts, they can play these parts really well, so let's go with that.
So let's go. You're going to be the captain?
I play Constance.
You play
in the
Constance.
play, which is Mozart's wife.
Mozart's wife. So you saw And you said she's a constant.
Yeah, and we do read a couple of different plays before we finally select what we're gonna go through for the season. But yeah, I think somebody alluded, Adam Zarowski, he's one of my mentors. He told me, he's like, you should do Amadeus, because he took it a state a couple years back in 2011, and so he's like, you should do Amadeus. He's like, you have the perfect casting. And I'm like,
Really?
oh, I don't know. It's a hard script, and
Is
we.
it hard?
It's
It's
very
very
hard.
difficult.
Very
Really?
hard.
What do you mean by what's a hard script?
It's very like someone may say a line and it's like it may mean like 1,000 things all at once,
Like,
and you
for
have
example?
to. What was one?
It's just like I got a perfect one.
Okay.
It's surely you don't believe in dreams, and
Right.
it's because he's talking about his nightmares, but at the same time, it's because my character, his dreams were crushed by Mozart. So when I say the line, I'm alluding to the fact that, like, to me it's silly to believe in dreams, but also to the fact that he's having actual nightmares. But it's just a lot of the script is a lot of double meanings and a lot of backhanded phrases, and it's just raw with emotion. So
Does
it's
it
really
have
hard.
an accent? Do you speak the accent?
No, we
Or
do not
like,
speak with
'cause
that.
that- the movie Amadeus,
You're
right?
right. Yes. It's basically that
Yeah.
play, yes.
Yeah.
And so, what did you like about when Mr. Ramirez says, "Hey, we're doing Amadeus"? Or you read it? Did you feel it, or did you no? I want.
I read it and I actually loved it.
Really?
I loved
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot of good moments in the original script, which, since we only have 40 minutes, we had to cut out. But
Yeah.
in the entirety of the 3-hour long play script, there's so many wonderful moments, and it does such a good job at connecting the play with music. And just like the way it speaks of art, like I know Michael Smith Mozart has a really wonderful monologue talking about what his job is as a composer, and to be able to feel the emotion that music gives you. So yeah, that's really the whole take on
Did
the
you
play.
feel it though? Was there another play that you wanted, like West Side Story? I'm just because you
Yeah.
gotta feel it, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta feel like I've seen you walking in the morning down Red, and did you like? I got it. I mean, did you like?
I guess it's sometimes, like, especially the script, at first I was very hesitant because it does touch on a lot of like mature ideas, and I was just like, am I ready to deal with a lot of this content? Are the kids ready to deal with a lot of this content? Because it's a very mature script.
What content do you like?
Well, I know there's some infidelity that goes on
Infidelity?
between
Oh no, that doesn't
Mozart,
happen.
Salieri, and his wife. Yeah.
One or two marriages and a divorce.
Yeah.
Well, let me think. Does the fact that this is a difficult script play into the judging of the play? Are judges aware of how difficult the script might be over another script and judge based on that?
Yeah, definitely.
So this gives you an advantage, doing a script like this one.
Yes.
I mean, a disadvantage because you have to perform and,
Yeah.
and make sure that you do it well, but advantage to where a judge might say, they're really tackling a difficult script,
Yeah.
and we should give them more points for that or more credit for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is.
Hold on a second.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, glad I will cut from here. Okay, and because I'm like, what are the judges looking at? How will they determine whether or not you guys are state worthy?
It's a lot. It's a
That goes into
lot.
it, yeah.
There's a paper that they have and they rank each thing, and it has to do with all the acting, the directing, the tech backstage, the lights, the sound, everything they look at to make sure that this is like, if it's clean, if the transitions are smooth, if we are portraying the characters correctly and accurately.
If they can even just hear you.
Yeah, if they can hear you.
Projection.
Yeah.
Projection, yeah.
So it's not just like how well you guys like do on stage. It's
The
what it looks
entirety
like.
of the
Yes.
show.
So it's
Yeah.
an
The
actual play.
lighting.
The
Every
set,
single person
the
is like doing
costumes,
something and they're
makeup.
looking at every single thing.
Mhm.
Now,
And it's all going to be like a well-oiled machine because all of it is dependent on one person, right? Like we can't start until sound starts. And there's a lot of scenes that can't happen unless music's playing in the background. So everyone is relying on each other to do what they know they're supposed to do in order to keep the show flowing.
So how like, okay, you've done this play how many times? You've been up there?
Four.
Four?
Three.
So now you're
Yeah.
practicing. Did they give you feedback from
Yes,
last week
we-
so you know?
Things, because like as the director, I've seen the show maybe like 8 times because we've only really done the entirety of the play like 8 times. But I start getting so accustomed to it that I'm like, oh wow, that's just the moment, right? But these judges, they'll give us a sheet and they're like, fix this, there's too much yelling at this part. It's like crazy, just
They're very brutal.
very brutal. But we honestly, for me, I enjoy when they're being brutal because it gives me more of it allows me to
You like know what
to grow. Yeah.
And make adjustments.
And make adjustments, and it's telling us that, and I think I've heard it because we keep making it to the area round. This is the first group that has been to the area round all 4 years of high school. So every year the notes just keep getting better and better and better, and they've just really like, when these guys were freshmen, like they're very different than they are now. And so seeing them grow and getting the notes that we're getting now compared to when they were freshmen is just so
And that's, Doc, this is just proof positive, right? That we're a school in a district that focuses on many aspects of students. It's not just a student that's athletically inclined, but there's the artistic inclined, there's the military inclined. We have opportunities for that.
I just marvel because when you're on stage and you're talking, and I've seen you perform in San Antonio, so I mean, how do you get into character? How do you get into how do you people are watching me? How do you? I mean, because basically, and related to athletics, right? Because when you're on the field, when you're on stage, you're on stage. Now it's just you, and you're depending on people, the lighting and the sound. How does that How do you the I'll say anxiety, the fear, the fright, stage fright? I mean, do you for me, when I became a superintendent, speaking in public, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch, Irish wristwatch.
That's one that we
That's
use that one.
Because I have a way where I speak so fast that I don't enunciate.
And I was here when you first got here. Much more improved.
It's like a muscle, you gotta train it because a lot of it's control.
What are you training your mind? Your
I like the way you speak, the way you hold yourself when you walk and stuff like that. Because Angel walks a completely different way than Salieri walks, right? Salieri has to have different mannerisms and stuff like that. So that way I can portray Salieri on stage, and it's not like a teenager on stage standing awkwardly reading his lines. You know what I mean? So I think it's just something that you develop with time. Because I was not this confident maybe as a freshman, not at all. But I think over time the nerve melted away about being on stage, and it more became about how I handled the stage.
So how did do you get in character? How do you?
So something that I enjoy doing a lot every year is that we basically do character work.
What's that mean?
They give us a sheet, and it's basically like if you were filling out your own personal life, but in a character, what year were they born in, what kind of society did they live in, what's their favorite food, their favorite color, their favorite thing to do.
Give me an example, a character.
For example, Constance, something that helped me develop some of her mannerisms is that she has a tick with her hands. She was born in elegant society, so she was always taught to stand up straight and look very proper and always have her hands in front of her together. So having that tick of scratching her hands or itching her hands.
So how do you research? Is there a movie,
Lots
a
of
book?
research,
I mean, you're constantly writing notes.
Yeah.
We try not to look at the movie. We weren't allowed to watch the movie until after we performed it because he didn't want us to copy the movie.
Okay.
But we would do we look up Amadeus, I could, because they're real people, so we could look up how they lived in their life, how they do all this and
Well,
all.
what was the interesting thing about Mozart in each of your characters? I mean, besides the tick and what was
voice.
something that you were that you found holy snap, I didn't know Mozart.
Well, Mozart,
I
I mean,
didn't
he was
know
a
he-
very vulgar man.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I could have hung out with that dude.
He was
He's
very
mean.
vulgar. He has a song. He has a song called.
Yeah.
It's called It's
a song.
It's
man.
a song that's very vulgar, and I don't know. He just loved playing vulgar music. He loved performing. He was very big. He was doing tricks all the time. He'd always make something new with the art that he made, and I thought that was
So what instrument did he play? An instrument?
he played the piano.
The piano.
And he was a conductor. I don't know.
How old was he when his first
He was 4. His first concerto
shut
at 4.
up?
Yeah, he was a prodigy.
Yeah, prodigy.
Damn,
Yeah.
a vulgar prodigy.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, that's funny because I was talking to these teachers, and I love teachers, but they're talking about gifted and talented. And I said, the kids that are gifted and talented are not the ones in your classes. I mean, they're smart. Like my kids, I love my kids, but they're not gifted and talented. They're just good kids. They're smart. They're smart kids. Mr. Ramirez.
I beg to differ.
Yeah, but Mozart, right? If he were into our school system, some who's 4, and he's gonna go into what are we gonna be disciplining him and don't be that and don't do that, and that's what I'm saying. Gifted and talented is not just academics; it's so much more, and that's what our school system doesn't grab, because we get a kid that's 4 that can compose and vulgar and then we right away tune on that versus holy kid, this guy just put symbols together and math and just
And the behavior might be the result of their
the behavior is that they're
right?
bored.
Yeah.
They are freaking bored and sitting to one teacher, listening about history, listening about English 1, English
Instead of-
math,
He or she may already know, and you're like, why am I sitting?
or I can look it up.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you guys can look it up, right?
Yeah.
You see it?
True.
Right, and I think that's why we just need to get rid of school. Go back into Mozart.
I'm completely with you.
Right? School's boring sometimes. You come in here at 8. Why 8:30? Why leave at 4:30? Why 8 hours? Why English 1? Why English 2? I don't mean to get off the topic, but I think that's why we're failing our generation, our kids, because we want them to have the same experience as me, but it's a different time, a different world. Like Mozart, and the way you research, what was happening during that era? What was going on world? Was it? And I don't know because I'm not a history person. What was going on that you?
On the topic of that, something that we talk a lot about in our show is how we emphasize how when Mozart was putting out his music, he was talked down upon because he was such a vulgar person and his music was, well, some of it, not all of it, was very vulgar. But he ended up being one of the most famous composers of all time. But at his point of creating music, he wasn't talked about that way. Everybody thought that he was just going to be another composer. So, but people didn't care enough to have an open mind as to accept the different type of music that Mozart was trying to put out.
And that's why here in the schools, how can you put a grade on art? How can you put a grade on something like Mozart? Or you got a D, from
Because
some
use the F word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and the grading policy and all that. Versus how can you tell? You can't. And that's why grading is so subjective. It's one person's, your A, B, C, and we're so brainwashed in our society that an A means that. No, it doesn't.
Well, and to that point, I think what's interesting here is that we focus so much on what a successful academic year is for a student, and that success is based on the experience of what we expect the norm to be, right? School for many years was successful because you were successful at school if you came to school, sat down, memorized something, and then performed at the test, right? So that's one experience. But what we know is that students learn in many different ways. And if you learn in a different way, you weren't deemed successful. You were deemed a failure because you didn't learn. If you didn't sit and get, you weren't a good student. We know now that that's different, right? But we haven't caught up.
We don't know now.
Well,
we still do the same thing.
Exactly. Well, what I
Every
said is,
graduation, the same thing.
What I meant,
Cal, Sal,
Yeah.
blah 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 blah.
what I meant, Doc, is that
And my daughter was
we
Cal,
know,
so I just.
well, we know that we know that there's different types of learning. We haven't adapted fully to
Yeah, but like
meet
for
those
me,
needs.
you're a senior also.
Yes.
You guys are all seniors. I'll pass your state exams, right? Which
Yeah.
are dumb, stupid, and I'll but so what? So what? Mine is like, how are you gonna make the world a better place?
Mhm.
How are you gonna make people smile? How are you going to, that's what I care about. As it's like your evaluation, that T-test, it doesn't mean. I can't be vulgar.
Yeah,
It doesn't
Yeah.
mean squat.
It's to me whatever Mozart would.
Yeah. What it means is there's no evaluation that these kids that you know what I mean.
Correct. Yeah.
I just don't understand it. We still live in this wall and these boxes versus. Go ahead.
I completely agree with you. I don't think everybody's supposed to be a mathematician, a scientist, and a historian all at the same time, or you know what I mean. Like, and that's what school is. Like, if I'm not good at English and I fail English, and I'm good at every other course, I just can't graduate. You know what I mean? I just think that's.
Well, but it doesn't mean that you're bad at English. It means maybe we got a bad teacher. Maybe that's not the book that pulls
That's
you
triggered,
in,
yeah.
that excites you.
Mhm.
Because we read the same thing. I bet there's books in that English 1, English 2 that I've read in 1984. Moby Dick, Mice and Man. They read the same. And then
Yeah.
Marty Roach said, well, they're classics. Who says they're classics? I didn't like them. You said, because the majority of people, they're probably men who, they're a classic, like Mozart. If he would have stopped and listened during his time, and all the negativity and all the, he basically, maybe that's his vulgarity, where he's just like, screw you,
Mm-hmm.
watch me, I'm gonna keep
Yeah.
putting it together, and he just kept going, and because in life you get people that tell you, don't, no, way, don't create a phone that you can put everything on here, and some person did this, some person invented this, and I think that's what's crazy is like our society, we try to squash your creativity and your innovation. We just don't let it go, and that's why I hate school. I walk in, I see these kids just like zombies coming in every day, clocking in, leaving at 12. Oh, how was your day? Good. They don't care what they really learn.
Yeah.
It's a factory.
Yeah, it's a factory.
Uh,
Versus what you guys are doing right now, this stuff is gold. This is because of this guy, because he connected with you.
Yeah, this is
Irish
what-
wristwatch. Irish wristwatch.
So I want to you give credit to your other students that are here. There's a technical part to this, right?
Oh yeah.
And they won an award. As a matter of fact,
Yes.
there's a little crew. I want to give a shout out to them because putting on a play is not just acting; it's making sure that there's a production, right? So that requires lighting, staging, all these
I
things.
text Olivia the picture. Olivia, she goes, tell them I said bleep. Yeah. Keep going. They're making everyone proud, and say puro canuto. That's what she's saying.
I love that phrase, puro canuto.
Puro canuto.
Puro canuto.
Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
I just want to make sure that your technical crews recognize that people understand
yeah.
that they are really integral part of making this happen. Because a play it goes beyond the script, it goes beyond the acting. Obviously, the acting is the public phasing; it's very important. But so is staging, right? Without the staging, the play doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, and our tech, like things are constantly changing because from district to right now, even to up till yesterday's performance, our rehearsal, like things have changed, and I'm very demanding, like. And I want things done right there and then if they
There's a
don't get
reason
done,
why you're here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's just like,
So-
I told you to change that light, and the light doesn't get changed the next time I do it, and then there we go again. I told you to change that light. And they are on it. The techs are on it.
But you're teaching a life skill to kids.
Yes.
If you say we know we need to do it, to your point that we're all dependent upon it, dude, don't put it off. Change the freaking light.
Yeah.
Because we need that light. Either you're going to be part of the team or not. If you're not, that's cool. You want to go eat Takis and hang out in the cafeteria hang out and be a zombie, go for it. And be an employee the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But here, we demand excellence, and there's a reason why we're
Galaviz
here.
woke up feisty today.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
There's just so much energy, and I feel kind of bad for being in a factory.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, when does it change?
Well, I think I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, Doc, but I think that part of the, and I don't want to say frustration. Part of your feelings right now is recognizing that the talent and the potential we have, and sometimes our inability to kind of like help them reach that potential, right? And here's someone who's doing it. Here's someone who's a teacher who's making sure that these kids have talent, and we've seen these kids perform. We've seen them in musicals, we've seen them in one-act plays, we've seen them in special presentations. They have talent, right? And we don't get recognized for that all the time. And I'm so happy that we are. And I'm so thankful that Canutillo is being represented by these students and this teacher. You
So
know?
you're going to be at Coronado High School in Lubbock.
No, now we just
they
finished.
switched?
Yeah, we just finished at Coronado High School. Now it's at the Allen Theater at Texas Tech.
Oh, at the university.
Yes, at the university.
So how do you from a high school? I can imagine now you're at a university.
Mm-hmm.
Like
The staging.
Very
bigger
different.
stages. Like, how do you get a glimpse of that?
We're probably gonna close in.
Yeah.
It's like that every time, because like, for example, like our theater is a different size to the theater that we went to in by district and so on and so forth. So we have to adjust, and that's what like the rehearsals are for, because we have a rehearsal where we go the day before performance. And we use that to get more acclimated to the, be louder if their audience is larger. And like Michael said, bring in the curtains if their stage is bigger than ours and stuff like that. And then also same thing with the techs. They have to adjust to their stuff and their tech board. And a lot of the time their lights are busted and don't work.
Oh, okay. So do you like have do they give you, hey, Mr. Dominguez, here's the size of our stage, these are our lighting.
Yes.
And now you're meeting with your lighting crew, and this is where, because everything, you get one day really.
Yeah, we get an hour on that stage.
And that's
So
it?
whatever we use on, that's all the time we have. I usually like my lighting boy. Shout out to Tristan. He's so good. And I'm just like, hey, this is the board we're using. He's like, oh yeah, I know how to use that board. I'm like, okay, perfect. Or
Each other.
he'll be like, that's like our board. It's just the newer version or whatnot. So when he gets there, he's already able to program the entire show.
Okay.
And then we're not freaking out about it. So yeah, they give us right now the next stage, the dimensions are like 90 feet wide.
And how big was like ours in the one?
Ours is 45.
And the one at the
Coronado.
high school?
Coronado was 60.
So it's
Is
30.
ours UIL?
Ours, yes, we've hosted UIL here
Okay,
before.
so-
Back in
Yeah.
when Olivia was here, we hosted UIL. So it's just every time it's different. And we weren't supposed to perform at Coronado this past week. It was supposed to be in Seminole, Texas, but because of the whole
The
measles and stuff like that, they moved it to Lubbock, which was it worked out in our favor.
So what's like? How do you adjust? Just knowing the physical dimensions.
Honestly, we put our set on stage and we just modify the stage to our set.
Okay.
So it's honestly, and they're really good. They've been with me for 4 years. So when we go into rehearsal, they're just like, let's get to it. They already know the procedure in that aspect. It's like, okay, we're going to start with the center, and then from the center, we're going to scoot out. We know that this needs to go 20 feet this way, and this needs to go 20 feet this way. Let's work that. Okay, the lights, we're not going to be able to use the whole stage, so we're not going to use like areas 1 and 6. we're gonna use areas 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like little things like that just like we're accustomed to.
So you have seniors here, and next year's gonna be a rebuilding year for you as far as the program goes.
I want to say yes, but at the same time no. I have a big sophomore class.
Oh, great.
Just like when they were freshmen,
Yeah,
there was a bunch of juniors. So it's just kind of like every couple of years we get
Every year's like
every year it's like rebuilding.
That's
But
great.
it's
But a good thing, I feel like UIL really brings everyone together, so
Yeah.
that way the next year that comes, everyone's already like, I know you.
Well, I mean, now you set the bar.
You said the
Yeah.
definitely.
You set the bar, and now another 20 years or 25 years, now you set.
right. And we are kind of. I actually had this conversation like this next room is a very very difficult room to get out of because we are dealing with all those other schools have been to state in the past couple of years. Or if not consistently at regionals. So we're the only ones in that room that have not been.
And that we are the only 5A school in El Paso at this stage.
We are the only school in El Paso at this stage this year.
Great.
Everyone
All
else
districts?
out of all the districts, 6A had their contest on Saturday and alternate, and same thing with 4A. So
we are the last man standing.
we are the last man standing, and we're hoping to actually represent El
women.
Paso and women.
And the last person standing.
Last person standing.
But so I wanna again thank you guys.
Thank you.
Break a leg, make us proud,
Of course.
and like Olivia said, puro canuto.
Let's go to
And with that, we're gonna play us off and rock up some days this upcoming week. And we will see you.
I can be vulgar.
All right, see you guys next week.
Thank you.
All right, y'all be good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.